Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today, as you can see from the title, I have for you my top of 2013 spring fragrances video. Now, I released a video earlier in the month of the top YouTube reviewers' fragrances, and that pretty much was a compilation of what everyone's picks were for last year. This video is my top 10 of 2013 spring picks. Basically, these are my picks. These are what I'm wearing. These are the fragrances that I love, and I thought I would go ahead and share them with you as I do every year. There's going to be a link to the past year's fragrances, either down there or up there, one of the two places. But just wanted to go over a couple ground rules real quick before we actually get into it. First ground rule, as always, like I mentioned, these are my picks. These aren't a top 10 list for, men's fragrances or from a magazine or anything like that. These are just my personal likes and loves for spring. That's the first thing. The second thing is, well, what do I consider spring? Spring to me is an oscillation kind of between warm weather and cold weather, right? It ranges anywhere between 50 degrees Fahrenheit on the low side to around 80 degrees Fahrenheit on the higher side, maybe even a little bit higher than that, like 85 or something like that. Spring can either be a little bit chilly or it can be a little bit warm, but on the overall feel, it's kind of on its uptick. It's very similar to fall in terms of that oscillation, but instead of it becoming colder and me gearing down and wearing fragrances that I feel are better for cold weather, I'm starting to wear fragrances that are better for hot weather. So a lot of the fragrances that you see in these videos can be interchanged easily with summer or even fall for that matter. These are just things that I like to personally wear in here. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and get on to the video. I have two honorable mentions for you. The first honorable mention is one that it's pretty hard for me to actually leave off any spring video just because it reminds me so much of fresh cut grass and I love it. It is Carolina Herrera's 212 Man, or 212 Men, basically. This has a very fresh cut grass. Even though I'm a little bit allergic to fresh cut grass, I still love the actual smell of it because I do like the scent of this, and that's really what this reminds me of. So 212 Man by Carolina Herrera. And the other honorable mention that I have is one that was actually on my last year's list. It is Dolce & Gabbana The One. Now, it was number 8 on my last year's list. The reason why it slipped down is not because I don't like it as much as I did. I still do love it. It's just that I find for this, I actually wear more all season around. I do pull it out a little bit more in the spring, but I'm finding myself wearing this more all season or all year round for this one. So I like wearing this one going out. Dolce & Gabbana's The One. Honorable mention. So let's get into the top 10. At number 10, we have a fragrance that I don't think has been mentioned pretty much anywhere, and I don't see their house really mentioned at all. It's a local house, at least local to me, here in New York, in Brooklyn, actually. This was a present from my girlfriend, and the reason why I love it is because it reminds me of a garden, and it is MCMC Garden. You can literally see it comes in this whoops, sorry, it's having a little bit of trouble seeing it, MCMC Garden, but basically pops off. This is actually an oil, right? That goes on. It's not very thick and heavy, but gets the job done. Now, the reason why I love this scent is mainly because of the fact that it smells like vegetables, basically. Now, that may sound strange, but it has a very nice, very fresh mix of like a vegetable, like a springy type of a scent to it. And even though it's an oil, I really haven't put any oils in any of my top 10 videos for that matter. But this one really does still project, and it lasts an extremely long time on your skin. So MCMC Garden is my choice for number 10. Number 9, from the house of Bond number 9, we have a fragrance that I love to wear when it's spring, when it's raining, when it's dewy, when it's kind of wet outside, and it's still a little bit on the uptick for weather. This is my rainy weather scent, essentially. This is Bond number 9's Hamptons. This is actually a fragrance geared towards females, but I absolutely love it. It has a very springy, very fresh smell to it. It reminds me, again, really of rain, basically, that comes down. It has a bit of a floral type of a vibe to it, believe a bit of neroli in it as well too. Very excellent fragrance. Bond number 9 is Hamptons. At number 8, number 8, we have a fragrance that actually was a quote-unquote newer-ish addition that I really hadn't worn much until I started wearing it to work, I believe during the summer of last year. And I figured, wow, this would be a really nice fragrance to start wearing for warmer weather, and it has been. It's been absolutely excellent. There will be a review coming on this one, and that is Bleu de Chanel from the House of Chanel. Fantastic fragrance. It has a bit of neroli, has a bit of fruits in it, has a bit of almost like a melon type of a vibe to it. That said, it lasts a long time on your skin. It doesn't lack projection, and that's really the great thing about Bleu de Chanel. Despite it being like an aquatic citrus type of a scent, this has the staying power that easily beats many winter fragrances or many heavier fragrances. Bleu de Chanel coming in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have Frappin 1270. This lost the spot, from last year, but Frappin 1270 is still one of my favorites. It has a little bit of a spicy vibe, a little bit of raisin vibe, a little bit of a fruits vibe to it. Reminds a lot of people of Dolce & Gabbana The One, but a more natural smelling version of it. My bottle, I think, has some leakage problems, but it's been doing okay so far. But yeah, Frappin 1270. At number 6, we have Prada Amber Pour Homme. Prada Amber Pour Homme. This is elegant soap. Elegant soap that you really can wear year round. Me personally, I am going to be wearing this one for this spring. It's a little bit of a fragrance that gets talked about a decent amount. I haven't really heard about it talked about that much as of recent, but it is still a great fragrance nevertheless if you're looking for something that's a little bit more tame. Some people find it a little bit too feminine, but I think it's perfectly fine. It has a powdery-ish type vibe to it, a very elegant soapy-ish type vibe to it. Prada Amber Pour Homme. At number 5, a recent addition from the House of Christian Dior, Eau Sauvage. Oops, the light on this. But anyway, Eau Sauvage from the House of Christian Dior, absolutely excellent scent. The reason why I like this one, it's very sophisticated. Even though it's a citrus, it's not really kiddie. It has more of a grown-up type of vibe to it, and I suspect that I'm not positive if it has neroli. I have to double check in that, but I believe it does. It has. If you've ever smelled Tom Ford's, I forgot the Tom Ford that I'm thinking of. Grey Vetiver. There we go. If you ever smelled Grey Vetiver, it smells somewhat similar to it, but I think it has a little bit more of a sophisticated and edgy or a modern type of a feel to it. Christian Dior's Eau Sauvage. At number 4, from the House of Guerlain, we have Guerlain's Vetiver. What's to say about this one? This is citruses, this is vetiver, but it's not a dark vetiver in the scent. It is a very subdued vetiver. It is a very fun vetiver, a very playful vetiver, but at the same time mature. Playful and mature, if that makes any sense whatsoever to you. Absolutely fantastic fragrance that I love wearing to work, especially. This is one of my staples for work when it gets warm. I was actually testing this out and wearing this a little bit more in the fall of last year and did absolutely excellent, and I think this is a fantastic fragrance for spring. Guerlain's Vetiver. Number 3. What is any spring list without this fragrance? Many of you probably can tell when you think spring, there's one fragrance that usually pops into everyone's head. What is a list without it? It was at the number 10 spot in my video for last year. This year it moved up. I've really begun to enjoy it even more as time passes. Absolutely love it. None other than Creed's Green Irish Tweed. Green Irish Tweed, think of the Irish countryside, think of dewy, wet grass, think of almost woods to a little bit or springtime weather. This is spring incarnate, spring in a bottle, as very many people have quoted. Fantastic fragrance, really can't go wrong. Green Irish Tweed. At number 2, a fragrance that, oh man, I've been dying to wear and I can't wait to wear for the spring. We have Bond No. 9's Andy Warhol. This is a light oud type of fragrance with a little bit of plum, a little bit of resin. It is a lighter fragrance at heart that has some base to it, that has a lot of staying power, at least on my skin. This is, I remember smelling this, the first time I actually smelled this was during, I think it was it was maybe 2 years ago, and it had been on my mind for a while, and I really wanted to get my hands on it. Got my hands on it, bought a bottle, absolutely loved it, and this is my number 2 spring fragrance, Bond No. 9's Andy Warhol. I think it might be discontinued though, because Bond No. 9 has something going on with Andy Warhol that ended, but Andy Warhol, can't miss it. His picture's on the face, or on the bottle. And for my number 1 spring fragrance, has not changed from last year. I still absolutely love this fragrance. I think this is one of the best bangs for your buck if you're looking for a spring fragrance, or even summer. It works well in summer too. That is Chanel's Allure Homme Edition Blanche. Think of lemon cream pie. Think of creamy lemonness to this scent. It has a very fresh burst, especially in the opening, that you get from this fragrance, and as it goes on, it just gets better. The only downside to this is it doesn't last that long on my skin. It only lasts, I think, about, I want to say around 5-6 hours. That said, I carry a decant just because I absolutely love this scent, and I want to wear it for the entire day usually that I wear it. So yes, we have at number 1, still number 1, still my favorite fragrance, and I highly recommend to anyone. Yes, Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche. All right. Let me know what your picks are down below. Go ahead and send me a message, or leave your comment down below. Let me know what you're planning on wearing for spring. It's not fully spring here yet. It's just under 50 degrees, so I haven't really busted these fragrances out to truly wear, but I can't wait. I'm thinking like next week is when it will start to truly hit spring. So again, any inquiries and questions, let me know. Send me a message, leave a comment down below. Thank you. Take care of yourselves and have a great day.